You can understand exactly why you react the way you do and still react the same way anyway. If you've watched the previous videos in this series, you may have noticed a pattern. We've talked about identity, who you are when your roles fall away. We've looked at the ego and the narratives running beneath it. We've explored why your mind abandons the present exactly when you need it the most. It's all valuable information, but maybe you've been sitting with a question this whole time. Okay, I understand this, but what do I actually do? And that's what this video is about. Because understanding something conceptually, intellectually, and having a practical tool that you can reach for in the moment, those are two completely different things. Now, personally, I really like concepts and understanding, and I've always been pretty good at thinking of things in that way. But then life would throw something painful at me, and I'd react as if I didn't really know anything. What I needed wasn't more insight. I needed a method, something I could do that works. The C.A.L.M method, referred to as the C.A.L.M confidence method in the book, is the framework I developed out of my own experience navigating my own major life transitions. It's grounded in evidence-based practices from mindfulness, therapy, and psychology. It's 4 steps. You can learn them in 2 minutes, and you can use them anywhere. In a difficult conversation, in a moment of crisis, in the parking lot before you walk into a meeting you're dreading. The 4 steps are this: connect, allow, let go, move forward. C.A.L.M. Each one builds on the one before it, and together they move you from reactive, caught in those old patterns and spinning in your head, to resilient, meaning present, clear, and able to respond from your actual self rather than your conditioning. So let's go through each one. The first step is connect. It doesn't mean connecting with other people, though that matters too. Connect with what is actually happening right now in and around you. This means pause and notice. Notice your breath. Notice your body. Notice what thoughts are moving through your mind right now. Notice the room you're in, the sounds, the physical sensations. And you're not trying to fix anything yet. You're not trying to feel better. You're just tuning into what's actually present rather than staying lost in the story your mind is spinning about what happened last week or what might happen tomorrow. This is harder than it sounds. Most of us have spent years learning to do the opposite, to move fast, to stay productive, to push the present aside in favor of what's next. Connect is the act of stopping that momentum long enough to actually be here. And here's why it matters. You cannot respond wisely to a situation you haven't already perceived. If you're reacting from memory or from fear, you're not responding to what's actually in front of you. You're responding to a thought. Connect brings you back to reality. The second step is allow. This is the one we might resist the most because it sounds like we're giving up, like resignation, but it isn't that. Allow means letting this moment be what it is without immediately labeling it as good or bad, without rushing to fix it, without fighting the reality of what's happening. When you lose a job or a relationship ends or your identity takes a hit, the first instinct is resistance. This shouldn't be happening. This isn't fair. This can't be real. And that resistance is understandable, but it costs you something. It keeps you locked in a battle with reality rather than free to respond to it. Please note that allow doesn't mean you approve of what happened. It doesn't mean you won't take action or set a boundary if needed. It means you acknowledge what is real so that your response can come from clarity rather than from panic or denial. There's a principle of reality I come back to in these moments, and that is you can only work with what's actually here. Allow is how you get access to what's actually here. The third step is let go. Once you've connected with the present and allowed reality to be what it is, your mind will do something predictable. It will start running commentary. Like, this is your fault. You should have seen this coming. What are people going to think? You'll never recover from this. That's that voice that narrates your experience and passes judgment on everything, including you. So let go means noticing when that commentary is running and releasing your grip on it. It's not suppressing it. It's not arguing with it. It's just recognizing it for what it is. Old stories, inherited patterns, the conditioning we explored back in chapter 3, and gently setting it down. This isn't about toxic positivity or pretending things are fine when they aren't. It's about recognizing when your reactions are being driven by old programming rather than present wisdom. Your worth isn't tied to the outcome of this situation. Your identity isn't defined by what just happened. Let go is the step where you remind yourself of that and create space for something clearer to emerge. And then the fourth step is move forward. Not move on, that's different. Move forward means taking your next step from the present moment rather than from habit or reactivity. And after a major life change, the pressure to figure everything out immediately is enormous. People want to know your plan. You want to know your plan. The uncertainty is uncomfortable, and the instinct is to rush, to make a decision, any decision just to feel like you're doing something. Move forward asks a different question. What is the one next step I can take from where I actually am right now? Not the 10-year plan, not the complete recovery arc, just the next step, taken from awareness rather than from fear. That's where real rebuilding begins, not in a grand plan, but in a single present moment action taken again and again until you look back and realize you've moved further than you thought possible. Now, the reason this method works isn't because the steps are complicated. They're actually not. It works because repetition across different situations gradually rewires how you respond. The book applies this framework to relationships, anxiety, grief, conflict, beliefs. 14 chapters worth of real-life situations, and each time you practice it in a new context, it becomes a little bit more instinctive. But I also wanted to give you something more immediate than a chapter in a book. So I recorded a guided C.A.L.M method audio practice. It's about 20 minutes. It's designed to be done with your eyes open in the middle of ordinary life. You don't need a meditation cushion or a quiet room. You can do it in your car before work, or a lunch break, or before a hard conversation, anywhere. And it walks you through all 4 steps in real time with the same anchor from chapter 4 as the starting point. It's free. The link is in the description. This is the C.A.L.M Confidence Method, the framework that sits at the center of From Reactive to Resilient and runs through every chapter that follows. If the previous videos gave you a map of the territory, this is the tool that you can carry with you as you walk it. Chapter 5 is in 2 weeks. We're going further into how to build this kind of presence into the ordinary moments of your day, not just the hard ones. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and I want to know which of the 4 steps feels hardest for you right now. Connect, allow, let go, or move forward. Tell me in the comments. I'm going to read every one. I'll see you in 2 weeks.